So it did feel quite different when you walked into the field compared to what you expected to see. But your overwhelming feeling was being struck by that beauty and by the fact that you were actually properly surrounded by nature. I think it's just really important for us to reflect on where we are. And actually, when you think back 12 months or just more than 12 months, the impact the pandemic has had on us in terms of our consciousness, our awareness of the role biodiversity and the environment has on our health, on our communities, on the economy, on businesses. And we have innovation at the core of our business, and we need to innovate quickly in order to reintroduce greater biodiversity and create that more sustainable environment. You're surrounded by some of the most beautiful countryside in the Garden of Ireland, Wicklow. The stark contrast is that it has returned to nature. 2 years into their life, 1 year into their planting, the trees are very tiny. This is a very long-term play. So it really does feel like the first step on a journey back to the place from whence that field came or that area came. It was fascinating to have the chance to meet and chat with the landowner for a few minutes. In the relatively short time he's owned the land, the explosion of wildlife, be it increased numbers and diversity of insects, bird life. We have kite boxes for birds of prey to nest in. All of this coming together has just driven rapid change. And again, that reversion to what was probably there before. So I think at the heart of the whole initiative is just the very whole concept of innovating, moving quickly, and just looking for opportunities to speed things up. Bees are critical to the pollination, we all know that. They also produce honey, but really it's the role they play in pollination and the creation of a much, much more biodiverse environment. We have 2 beehives on the dock containing somewhere in the order of 80,000 bees, and we're looking very, very closely at and prototyping what conditions work well, what conditions are more optimal for them to be as productive as they can be. I think it's just critically important that we get to the point where we respond rapidly now. I think it's never been more important that we focus on that biodiversity and the benefits it brings at every level. So I think we've made the first step, but you realize the huge journey we have to travel to get there. So this is the very early steps in what will be a long journey, but one I think we can accelerate very, very quickly by being smart, by collaborating, and most particularly by having a real positivity about what we're trying to do in nature and for nature in this country. And finally, I would say it's on everybody's agenda, because this cannot be done by one entity nor by one group. It is about a collective will, a collective plan, a collective set of targets, but actually a collective set of behaviours. It's only by that we can make real change happen. So I think there's tremendous opportunity for all of the people in our business, if they wish, to engage with these initiatives.